Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Googl, Apple, and Baba. Let's get right into the charts. We follow the daily, weekly, monthly time frame. We use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. So on Facebook, daily chart, above all the MAs, bullish stance, but now we have a nice pullback, and now we're getting some sideways action. So that is slightly bearish at above the MA. So it's a 50-50 shot at this point. If you're bullish, you need to recapture the highs at 131.98. If you're bearish, you need a little more consolidation, and then this one should start falling. It needs to get through the 20 MA, needs to possibly get through the 125.72 or the slow pivot. Then I think we could break down, start hitting the 50 MA, and start staircasing. Again, though, everything is a market trade. If the markets go up, these will possibly go up. Options X is a little different beast. They make they, as in the institutional money, can basically do whatever they want. They can make stocks go up or down or wherever they need them to be to pay the least amount of premium on Options X. Period. Weekly chart. Weekly chart. We still have a nice topping tail. If you want to short this thing, if you're not short it up here where it comes up to this line. If we get above the all-time high with confirmation on a weekly basis, you stop out. It's a very, very easy trade with low risk. If this thing falls, we should get at least 5 to 10% on this thing. And if it goes up and we have to stop out, what are you going to stop out? Maybe a 5% loss, a 4% loss. So this is a nice topping tail. Had a little more volume, a little less on last week, but that's an easy trade. And it's retracing up into this area. Gosh, that's almost a gift right there. And again, if it goes up here and we get confirmation, you stop out. Easy trade. Monthly, we're still holding on to this trend line. Going back from 2014, connecting the highs up here. We're right there. Monthly chart, we're going to have another 2 weeks or so to wait to see where this thing closes. But every time it seems to get in this area, it seems to be rejected. It comes down. And, you know, I'm looking, if it does go short or if it does start to come in, I'm looking for 5 to 10%. That's it. And I'm out. No big deal. And then we'll wait for setup and maybe short it again. Rinse and repeat, guys. Rinse and repeat. Let's look at Amazon. Amazon, up $8.83. This is the first time I'm looking at these charts. I've been out, like I said, the last couple of weeks, so bear with me if I'm going a little bit slow at this point. But Amazon, nice day on Friday. Options X action again, but we're still inside this bar. Until it gets above there, I'm still in a bearish manner. Let's see if we can close. We can fill this gap up in here. And let's see if we can re-attack the 790.79 area. If you short this one here, you can use this all-time high as a stop out, or use the 800, 803, 805, something like that. So take a half position. So if it goes up, you're only losing a couple percent on the upside. But let me tell you, if these things start to come in, you know, we're looking at, you know, it's going to get down here around 756, and then boom, 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 and ultimately I think we can get at least a $700 area. So these are great risk-reward setups right now for these markets, and if you want to go short. Still in the inside bar. Let's see if we can recapture it. It gets above this gap fill. Then we'll see if it reattacks this high, and let's see if it could get to the $800 level. If not, this thing's going down. Weekly chart. I'm more of a bearish basis right now, but you know, still looking at the charts. I don't care either way, bull or bear, or up or down, long or short. I just want to be on the right side of the trade. So on this one here, we had a nice retrace to this candle here. Not a topping tail, but a little tail on here. You got to take it, but it's retracing up here. If it retraces to the all-time highs, you got to short this thing, guys. If it gets above this line, goes to about 802, 805, you stop out, you reevaluate, you go from there, or you go smaller position where you can have a wider stop and you attack it that way. So, but bullish pattern here. We're above the MAs. But this little reversal, I want to see it consolidate some more. And not bad with the volume last week either. But I want to see this thing with some volume next week. And I want to see it close above this one or above this tail. Then I'll be slightly more bullish on this one. If it can't do that, then I think we're going to be falling on this one. Technically on this one, we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bars up. On a monthly basis, we need to close above this pivot here. And then I want to see more volume again. I mean, with the volume drying up, this thing's just floating up here. That's the wild card with this. But again, you don't want to go long at all-time highs. You want to wait for patterns to see if this thing can go. You want to wait for the markets, the indexes, to see if those start moving up. If the markets start moving down, these are all going down. The markets are just grinding, and these are going to just go up and down, up and down. and then you're better off trying to find other stocks that are falling into support or going up to big areas of resistance, and then you short and go long. Stocks like this, just stay away from them if you don't feel comfortable with them. And buying at the all-time high here, that's just chasing, guys. Let's see, Netflix, everyone's favorite. This one was up $2.14. Daily chart, got it. Look at this though. So we had an inside bar, came right up into it, chop, 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 finally popped through, came right back in when the market sold, popped it up, came back in. Just irrational behavior on these stocks, guys. You can't really figure out which way these things are going. There's really no patterns, just up and down. But technically speaking, we did recapture the 200 MA on the daily. Watch for confirmation. Let's see if we can get above this pivot here. If we can get it above this pivot and close there on Monday, Tuesday, or any of the other days with staying above the 20 MA, then this one could possibly go back to the 101.41, then ultimately fill this gap at 102. Then you come to this pivot around 104. If it gets up in this area, if you're not short or you're not doing anything, do not chase it. Start adding shorts here. Next level to add would be right here around 108.40. So do a half position short, add the rest of the half up into here. If it gets above the 112 area with confirmation, you just stop out. It's pretty simple. But this is the big test for this one. Let's see if we can just reverse down and go down, or is this thing just chopping up and down and people making money on options and people losing a bunch of money on options as well. This is an interesting one. It has a mind of its own, but last week was Options X, so it was made it a little more interesting. Weekly chart, we still need to recapture the 99.77 or the $100 even number, but then you have resistance up here at 101 with the 50 MA and the 618. So you have a ton of resistance here still. Let's see on a weekly basis if we can close above the 50 MA, then we're slightly bullish. We'll move up to here, then possibly the 110 area. If this thing can't recapture any of these areas and starts reversing down, you want to see it close below the 618 and the 20 MA, then I think it can continue. Hello, I can't even talk today. Continue down on its way into this trend line, then we'll reevaluate. Right now, until it gets above this big red inside bar, I mean, look at the volume here. It's got to push up on more volume. That's what it's having. It's trying again. Let's see if it could go. And this nice little push up and reversal last week. We'll see what happens this week. A lot of stuff. Technicals are coming up the following week, and it's going to tell us a lot what's going on in these markets, in my opinion. Again, though, big bearish pattern here on the monthly. This one's telling me that we're gonna start going lower, unless it gets above, say, this 112 area and then continues up. But man, this down move sideways like that, that's a big bearish pattern. You got to respect that one. So you might be getting some jockeying for positioning here, but ultimately, if the markets start to dump, everything will be a market trade, and then this one here will start selling as well. Just be careful with these guys. Oh, let's look at Googl. I mean, you have Amazon up $9. You have Googl down $3. What a crazy market last week. But again, it was Options X, real shark week. So here they recaptured the 20 MA. They closed it above the 20 MA on the daily chart again. So technically, it's still in a bullish stance, but we still have down sideways action. It's just a 50-50 shot. Yeah, I need more evidence on these charts. You know, you could guess if it's going up or down. I mean, it's bullish. It's above the MAs. Can we go up a little bit more? If you're bullish, you need to reattack the 813 area and get above it. If you're bearish, you want to get below the 20 MA, the 50 MA, and these pivots here. Then I think we go to gap fill down in here. That's what's holding this thing right now. The window comes in, bounces, comes in, bounces. That thing doesn't hold, but now you got the 50 MA curling up here. So maybe they gap it down below when this thing gets up here. They gap it down below the window, and then it goes to gap fill. So right now, we're just waiting for evidence, waiting for the days to go by to see what this thing could possibly tell us. But I do like this one. We talked about this inside bar bullish pattern. We got to the low bar here. They popped it up on last week, got it above, but it never closed above this big red candle and never closed, of course, above the wick here. So now it's kind of down sideways in a micro bearish pattern. So we're going to keep an eye on this one too the next couple weeks to see if this pattern will start developing a little bit more. Monthly chart, same thing. We had a little bit of a topping tail, and then let's see if we can close above that tail, bullish. We close below this low of this monthly candle in 2 weeks, or on the bearish side. But typically we're setting up, not typically, but we're setting up in a bullish pattern here, but we'd have a couple more months of consolidation before it actually would pop up. So if the markets fall, this will fall. If the markets go up, this will probably start grinding up. Let's go into Aapl. Aapl, what a beast. All on news, though. This thing was not moving for months, and all of a sudden it's the best stock ever. Ah, gosh, you know, a lot of bag holders comes in, goes up, comes in, goes up, comes in, goes up, comes down. Then they just rocket ship it up for a couple days on the iPhone hype. But technically, guys, technically, right here is a gap fill. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't been on the charts. Right here, look at that. Filled the gap on Friday, 116.10 by 3 cents. So be careful on this one. If this sets up sideways and continues going into next week, 6 or 7 candles up in here sideways in a nice bullish pattern, yes, this could possibly go up to come up here, and there's another gap around 120.64. Then you have this high pivot right around 123.70. So yes, it could actually go higher. Let me do this. Like I said, I haven't been on the charts in the last couple days. So actually, I brought my laptop, but not. This is my main system here. Yeah, look at that. We talk about the 618. It overshoots it right to the 750 retrace gap fill. Guys, this could be the end of the road for Aapl. Be very careful. You're waiting on pattern. You're waiting for this thing to go. I will probably be buying puts. If this thing goes sideways for 6 or 7 days and doesn't start to go up, I'll be buying puts because I want them to deteriorate a little bit, and then we'll add them on. We are short this one already. We added more, I believe, around 114 or 115 or so. I don't have those numbers with me right now, but we did add a little bit more up in here. We've been adding as it's been going up into resistance. So at this point, if the market sell, this thing's coming down. Right now, it's just holding up on hype. Just think, they need this one to go up to save the Qs and save everything else. It's Aapl. It saved the markets for years, and that's what they're trying to do. Let's look at the weekly chart. Nice blast off. They brought it back. They retraced it. Let's see. Here, this is what I'm talking about, the retrace. Let's bring it in again. Let's see what this thing retraced into. All right, 750, almost into the 618, and then blast off here. They brought it up into this area. Let's see. Let's bring another fib down here to here. That's what I was talking about right there. 750 retrace, and then you had the gap fill right here. So let's see if this thing can continue up. But you have a lot of selling pressure here, especially in this candle. A lot of bag holders up in here where they're starting to sell, going, geez, I got my money back. I'm out of this thing. So be careful. And then you blast it off on this pivot. Next week, I want to see this thing close on Friday above this candle. If this does not close, I'm thinking it's going to technically be weaker. So let's see some confirmation on this candle, and then we'll take it from there. Again, it's moving up on news. That's the only way Aapl moves up these days, on news. So everybody's sucked in, then they're going to drop it. This inside bar finally played out. So let's see if we can stay above this on the monthly basis. If it does, then we close above here, then slightly bullish. But we're at the 750 retrace again. Let's see if this thing can hold. Again, we have 2 weeks on the monthly left. Let's see if this thing can hold up here. All right, and the last one today is BABA. I've had some smack talkers talking about me on this one. Again, we're right into the 104.45 in this big breakdown area. Till we close above this candle right here, 105. Here, let me put in a new pivot here. Until we close above the 105.45 area on weekly close or daily close, even like this, we still attacked the 105.16, went up, pulled right back. I want to see it with confirmation. We went up for a couple days now, right into this big area of resistance, and the 105.16, it rejected it, came right back in. Weekly chart, same thing. We had a little bit of a topping tail, but again, we're right into this big breakdown bar with volume. We're going to have volume like this to match that sell-off that day, because everyone who bought up in here on the height, as it was pulling back, and then you had upgrades, blah, 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 they all bought in this area. They're going to become sellers, so you have to be really, really careful. Next week, I want to see it close above this area here, the 105.05, 105.25 in that area. Then I believe we could go to the 108.88. Until then, and even then, let's see. Until then, here's your next big breakdown bar around 111.05. So until we get above this area here where we broke down last time, came back in, stocks love to revisit the same places they broke down. Here we are again. Until it gets above that and confirms on a weekly, I need more evidence. Monthly chart, same thing. We showed you that. But until then, right now, if you're bearish, you need it to pull back. If you're bullish, you need it to close above that area. It's as simple as that. This thing had a blast off from this level. Now it's all on news, and oh my gosh, it's BABA. You got to get in. All right, guys, I'm running out of time. Thanks for watching my videos. God bless. See you on the charts.